There's this sense, right, that whiteness, right, is under threat. The demographic shifts. The country isn't what all of these racially ambiguous children on Cheerios commercials are confusing the hell out of me.
Hey, a lot of people voted because their life's too damn expensive. And it was here and it
They
was
voted for, you're telling me, Stephanie, that all of these people who believe that their lives are, that bread is too high and eggs are too high, that they voted for a convicted fella, a guy who said we can grab the pea.
I think that a lot
They
of people,
voted for this guy.
I'm not defending it, but I think there are tons of people that don't pay attention to, and I'm not defending it, don't pay attention to politics at all. But while we live in the most prosperous country in the world, people are saying life's not fair, I'm not doing well, my son's still living in the basement, I can't seem to get a job, I don't like the status quo, I'm voting for something else, and he was the person.
Love you to life,
I love you,
but I do not believe that. I cannot believe that. And the reason I think you believe it is because you don't want to believe that that's what's really motivating them. It's always the case. People don't want to believe what the country actually is, because if they believe it, they're going to have to confront what's in them. I don't believe that. They voted for a crook, a person who they know is stealing from, just doing everything to undermine the so-called country that they love. And then they're telling us the BS that it's economics.
Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks. We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed. New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us. When we enter City Hall in 58 days, expectations will be high. We will meet them. A great New Yorker once said that while you campaign in poetry, you govern in prose. If that must be true, let the prose we write still rhyme, and let us build a shining city for all. And we must chart a new path, as bold as the one we have already traveled. After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. And most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this.
So Zohran Mamdani just became the first Muslim mayor of New York City. And 50 Cent, who is a New York native, is not too happy about that. In fact, he just posted this on his Instagram, saying, "Rest in peace to New York City." Many wonder why he isn't too happy. Well, this is the reason.
to address 50 Cent. And you know he's a critic.
He's a critic
of high taxes.
But let me just
go ahead and then we'll play it. Go ahead.
I didn't even know what my salary would be until I opened up Instagram and I saw this thing, which was like 50 Cent offers Mamdani X amount of money.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a very specific amount of money. And I was like, oh my God,
so now we'll do this in reverse order.
Sorry.
He said, I'll give you $258,000 and a first class one-way ticket out of New York. That's what you're referencing. So you know that. Here's what you did say, though, in a serious kind of policy radio interview. Let's take a look.
And I know if 50 Cent is listening, he's not going to be happy about this. He tends to not like this tax policy, but I want to be very clear. This is about $20,000 a year. It's a rounding error. And all of these things together, they make every New Yorker's life better, including those who are actually getting taxed.
What do you say to him now where, by the way, he has moved out of the city, but he's a classic New Yorker. I'm sure you like some of his songs.
Oh, man. It's actually tough for me in that way.
Yeah, so where does this debate go?
Incredible songs.
Because his argument, and it's fun, but it's also what we hear from certain people. His argument is there are a lot of people in New York who make a lot of money because they contribute a lot, and you're going after them. What do you say to him tonight?
You know, what I would say to you, 50, if you are indeed watching, or anyone else who's watching this show, is I continue to think that having the top 1% of New York City, who are making more than $1 million a year, having them pay 2% more for an economic agenda that would transform every New Yorker's life, including their own, is something that is worthwhile. And the reason I say including their own is when you see a city like ours that is underfunding its city agencies, that is pulling back on the most basic things like library services and trash cans, everybody feels the knock-on effects of that. And my job as someone who believes deeply in the public sector is to ensure that we're delivering public excellence. And that means every dollar that we raise, I want to be able to prove to you that it's every dollar that's being well spent. That's the relationship there. And I do have to say, even though we have a disagreement on tax policy, every time I get a death threat, I still listen to Many Men.
That's true. Well, you take Many Men for motivation. I was going to say your answer sounds a little bit like clickety-clank, clickety-clank, the money goes into my piggy bank.
Wow.
And if we had more time...
So that's why 50 Cent is not too happy with this decision. Because Iran wants to take more money out of the pockets of people who are pretty much funding New York. That's not my issue. My issue is the different agendas that is being pushed by Zoran. The different godless agendas. He wants to push transgenderism. He wants to push the alphabet situation. He wants to make prostitution legal. There's many different things that are just godless that I don't rock with. But hey, New York's seen something different. I guess we'll see over the next 4 years, huh, New York?
Wait a minute. This was in Virginia? How come nobody told me about this? Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Joel, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
My opponent has previously said that she does not think that gay couples should be allowed to marry. She has said that she is, quote unquote, morally opposed to same-sex marriage. My opponent has also previously said that she thinks it's okay for someone to be fired from their job for being gay. That is discrimination.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, lost in the debacle that was Trump speaking at the Navy's 250th, from showing up late, to calling in a rally, to forgetting the name of his book, to claiming Osama bin Laden, to even mentioning Vietnam. The audacity.
Hoo-yah, Navy! Hoo-yah, Navy!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Whatever that was. That was off-putting. I've been waking up yelling that in my sleep. Just it's been giving me night terrors. I'm pretty sure, isn't that what they got Howard Dean packed up for?
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House? Yeah!
Hoo-yah, Navy!
I thought that sounded familiar. I thought that sounded familiar. Lost in all of that is this little Trump snubbed the GOP nominee in Virginia for governor while speaking in Virginia. Somebody who's called to MAGA. Well, I just got to get a look. Let me get a look at the Virginia nominee for governor. Okay. She's too MAGA and he refuses to. So she getting the Mark Robinson treatment then, huh?
It's about killing the child because you weren't responsible enough to keep your skirt down or your pants up and not get pregnant by your own choice because you felt like getting your groove thing on.
Hey, Winsome Earl Sears, did you go to an all-girls college? Well, have you been on their campus unannounced? What is your relationship like with pizza? So he mentioned the other Republicans, but not...
I thought black people only voted for black people. I thought we only voted for someone based on their color. I thought we only voted based on identity politics. That's strange. I guess we don't.
Mike Johnson just said that if the Democrats win the midterms, Donald Trump will be impeached and his administration will end. The very idea of being held accountable for the countless crimes all of these people have committed has them absolutely terrified. Just watch this.
If we lose the majority in the House and this radical element of the Democrat Party were able to take over, we've already seen that movie. They will try to end the Trump administration. He won't have 4 years, he'll have only 2, because they will move to impeach him probably on the first day of the new Congress in January 2027.
It says everything that after being swept last night, the Republicans still can't get themselves to talk about fixing the economy or helping the American people. Their main priority is protecting Trump from any accountability. How pathetic is that? They know they were just exposed and the voters are fed up. We have proof of it now. The people are done with these games. They're terrified because they know they're about to lose power, and without that power, they can't shield themselves and Trump from all of the consequences of their actions. Imagine being so afraid of the voters that you publicly admit the democratic process will end your administration. That's a pretty good indication that the Republican Party is not doing anything to help the American people. What's crazy is they've spent years weaponizing impeachment, investigations, and outrage against the Democrats. But the second the tables turn and the voters make their voices heard, suddenly it's, they're coming after us. Yeah, welcome to accountability. That's exactly how democracy is supposed to work, and these people don't fear impeachment because they're innocent. They fear it because they know exactly what they've done, the abuse of power, the lies, the attacks on democracy and human rights. They know a Democratic majority will not turn a blind eye to everything they've done. They will shine a light on it.
Mamdani won the election against Cuomo and all Democrats won by a landslide.
What happened?
Democrats won by a landslide in Virginia, New Jersey, and New York for governor and mayoral. They even won against their political adversary billionaires' endorsements from Elon Musk, and Trump, and J.D. Vance. And Prop 50 passed in California.
Does this mean people are tired of the billionaire takeover?
It could mean that because the second Elon Musk and Trump endorsed Cuomo, people said they were revolted and instantly voted for Mamdani in response. In Virginia, nobody voted for Republicans. Everybody voted for Democrats in all cities. A huge change from last time with people saying they're tired of the billionaire takeover. This means that come midterms, it's likely most Democrats will be voted in and that they will control Congress, giving them more of a say-so in the government, passing bills and disciplining Trump's actions.
If they control the House, does that mean they can impeach him?
It means they'll have better odds because they need a 2/3 vote from the Senate to officially impeach a president. But even if they didn't decide to impeach him, they can take a lot of power away from him and back into the people. This is terrible.
So does this mean woke is back?
Everybody's waking up 2022. America's uniting again. No way. Trump just made a prepare for World War.
You vote red, you get a red card. You vote blue, you get a blue card. But for the next 4 years, that card is your life. You need health care? Present your card. Public transportation? Card. You go to a restaurant? Show the card. You're trying to file taxes or get disaster relief or apply for a job, even to get utilities. Yeah, you're going to need that card. Red card holders get the policies they voted for. No Medicaid expansion, no union protections, no student loan relief, no restaurants with immigrant employees or even food picked by immigrant hands, no federal disaster aid, unless of course the hurricane was Jesus approved, and absolutely no abortion access, even if your mistress needs one. And since we're talking about accountability, red card holders only get the benefits their states actually pay for. So no more blue state bailouts, no more taking in more federal money than you contribute. So if you're living off that $1,100 a month in blue benefits now, you better learn how to make that red $300 stretch. Roads, your problem. Bridges, good luck. Those inspections don't pay for themselves. Hospitals, shuttered. But hey, Until the Wi-Fi gets cut off, you can still yell about socialism on Facebook. But blue card holders, you're going to get infrastructure, you're going to get safety nets, you're going to get the public schools that actually teach history. Red card holders can still ignore science, but blue card holders are going to get the freedom to follow it. And I promise you this, after one term, just one, you're going to see a flood of red cards turning blue. Because nothing...
So folks, this is what the current fight is all about. Nobody wants to shut down, at least I don't. I don't want to shut down. But what I also don't want is for people in Georgia that I represent to lose their health care because it's simply unaffordable. Let me show you what I mean. In 2025, this family of four in Chatham County, where I grew up, paid $559.69 per month for the lowest cost option. That's the lowest cost. Family of four, $559.69 a month. Now look at this. Because of Republicans' cuts to health care last summer, the same family will have to pay $2,131.65 for the lowest cost option. You tell me how an ordinary working family in Georgia is supposed to afford that. Republicans did this. And right now, they won't reopen the government because they're fighting for this. Well, I'm not fighting for Georgians to have their health care premiums quadrupled. I'm fighting to extend their health care and to reopen the government. My Republican colleagues ought to join me.
To paraphrase Oscar Wilde, there are two great tragedies in life. The first is not getting what you want, and the second is getting it. And that is exactly what is happening with Republicans in the Texas legislature right now. As we all know, this week, those Republicans were finally able to fulfill their fevered dreams of drawing mid-decade gerrymandered maps to basically erase Democrats from existence. And they did it. And based on these new maps, Republicans should be able to pick up 5 new seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. They got exactly what they wanted. And then, immediately after they pass these and everything's approved and we're good to go, these are officially the new districts, many Republicans in the state legislature had an oopsie-doo moment where they looked at the maps again and realized, oh God, we just screwed up so badly. Because here's what happened. Yes, Republicans will get those 5 new districts. They were able to draw those lines so squiggly and curvy that they guaranteed themselves those 5 districts. But you also have to remember, in order to draw new districts, you can't create new land. You have to take from other areas. And in doing so, what these Republicans in Texas may have done, and this is what they're worried about, by creating 5 safe districts, they put 10 districts in play. So, based on their own stupidity, their own greed, their own haste to steal 5 seats, they may have lost 10. Now, here's what happened. Let me make this perfectly clear. This is not a guarantee that Democrats could end up picking up 10 seats, because the 10 districts where they kind of took people from are still light red. They're not dark red like the new 5 districts. Those are safe Republican. You got decades before you got to worry. But the light red ones include more Democrats than the others. They include more...
I think we need to realize that we cannot be putting our trust into white people when it comes to elections at all. Because it's like, it's not surprising. Like, I'm not surprised, but I'm just so fucking disappointed. Like, even with Prop 50, you guys couldn't fucking pull through. In California? Like, what's going on? Like, can we please get it the fuck together?
Here's what's interesting to me. So Mamdani is going to be the new mayor of New York, 34-year-old kid. Like I said, I live in New York. I couldn't vote in that election, but if I could, it would have been an easy choice. But here's what I really don't understand. The man who is actively trying to use hunger to get his political way, saying that people won't have food unless they do his political bidding, is saying that the man who wants to make rent cheaper, public transportation cheaper, and food cheaper is the one who is ruining in America. So the man who wants to starve you to get what he wants thinks that the dude who wants to feed you, house you, and get you, make you able to get around cheaper is the horrible one. That tells you everything you need to know about where we are.
Y'all take a look at this.
I told him this morning what we've talked about many times and what I've said here before. The president is on the ballot in 2026. President Trump is on the ballot next fall. Because if we lose the majority, if the Republicans, the common sense people here who are doing the job for the American people, if we lose the majority in the House and this radical element of the Democrat Party were able to take over, we've already seen that movie. They will try to end the Trump administration. He won't have 4 years, he'll have only 2, because they will move to impeach him probably on the first day of the new Congress in January 2027, and they will try to systematically unwind all the important reforms that we've done for the American people.
Yes, we will. Because that man has done enough damage to this country to justify being shown the door 10 times over. You are right, Mike, about one thing. Trump is on the ballot next year, but so is democracy. So is decency. So is the soul of this country. You say it like it's a warning, but to us, it's a promise. Because if he wasn't doing anything impeachable, if he wasn't breaking the law, bending the rules, or spitting in the face of the Constitution, impeachment wouldn't even be a talking point. But you're worried because you know he's done things that can't survive real scrutiny. This man has ignored court orders, defied the Constitution like it's optional, used ICE to terrorize families and deport people without due process, targeted judges, journalists, and anyone who dared to tell the truth about him. He's turned the presidency into a shield for corruption and cruelty. And while Americans struggle to pay rent, he's out here tearing down the people's house and building gold-plated ballrooms, pretending that's leadership. So no, this isn't some radical plan to unwind reforms. This is a movement to restore the rule of law, to bring back integrity, to remind this administration that America is not a monarchy, that no man, no matter how loud, no matter how rich, no matter how vengeful, is above accountability. They think this is a winning message, telling people to be afraid of democracy, afraid of oversight, and afraid of justice, but it's not. It's desperation when your whole campaign pitch is, please don't let them hold us accountable. You've already lost the moral high ground. You've already admitted that you know what's coming if you lose power. And let me make one thing clear. When we win in 2026, and we will, we're not walking in timid. We're walking in ready to investigate every abuse, every defiance, every unconstitutional act that's taken place under this regime. Ready to make sure that, yes, he only serves 2 years, because if we allow him 4, we may not have a country left afterwards. They want to scare people into silence, but that time is over. We're wide awake now. We see through the propaganda. We see through the chaos, and we're not backing down. So yeah, Mike Johnson, you are absolutely right. We're coming for accountability. We're coming for justice, and we're coming for every piece of this democracy that Trump tried to take from us. Because this time it's not about politics. It's about survival. And we're not letting this country fall without a fight.